Lion versus tiger. It's an intense debate on one of the top heavyweights of the feline world. Which of the cats would win in the fight has been argued for over centuries, if not thousands of years. However, a lot of people with natural bias towards one of either animal will spread misinformation. The two have been at it a little longer than you would think. In this documentary, you will see why the tiger not only nearly always wins the fight between a lion, but the reason why it has the advantage. But first, we must go all the way back to the very beginning, to the year 80 AD. This is when, during the conquest of the Roman Empire. Contrary to popular claim, not only of these two animals, there isn't much evidence to support these two animals are met. However, there is one account that goes all the way back, recorded by poet Martial. A tigress that had custom to lick the hand of her unexpected keeper, an animal of rare beauty from the Hycerian mountains, being enraged, lacerated, with maddened tooth a tailless lion. Which basically means is a Caspian tigress savagely tore a lion to pieces. In the early 1800s, a British officer that's resided many years in Sierra Leone in West Africa saw many fights between lions and tigers, and that the tiger universally won. Again, unlike some of the other accounts which are just single fights, this is one of the only few accounts where the two animals have fought on a mass scale. 1850, a fight mentioned between the lion and the tiger. The lion gave in and surrendered. 1857, where a tiger, not even fully grown, not even 2 years old, 18 months old, killed a prior male African lion. The lion is undoubtedly a male. So the newspapers at the time recalled it as a fine individual, around 6 or 7 year old, and had a mane that helped to block off some of the tiger's attacks. However, this tiger wasn't even an adult, so the size of the claws and teeth weren't as large as with the prime tiger. While the mane did protect it, the tiger at last succeeded into ripping up its vital organs in a savage way, a vicious way. This account has also been mentioned by Charles Darwin in one of his books. By 1868, where a lion died from injuries with a fight with a tiger. Lions, in post-mortem, has been proved to be from the injuries of the tiger in a British minigree. Another account goes with 1892, at a Thorpe Park circus parade in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. A fierce fight pursued. A female tiger, which is a disadvantage, pursued, tearing up the back of the lion's head. In 1899. This account is probably one of the only legitimate historical accounts, for one good reason. As it was organised so the animals were not only the most powerful and spectacular animals representing each of the retrospective subspecies, but it was also organised to be as fair as possible. Both lion and tiger was a prime. The tiger, however, was a Bengal, and the lion was a Barbary, or Nubian lion. Sayajiro Gaekwad III organised the fight, suggested by a letter of an Englishman. The lion was mentioned as magnificent. From the Atlas Mountains. The tiger was a man-eater from the Shimla region. The fight took place in a 50-foot diameter amphitheatre, and both animals were in the prime condition, hungry, to give maximum dedication to fighting. The lion is mentioned to have a heavy mane. Both mentioned to be wild animals, not captive, and the tiger eventually ripped the lion to shreds. Tacoma Times mentions an interaction in France between a Bengal tiger and a lion. The newspaper account mentions there being a fight with willpower with the animals, so there's no ambush or any other unfair factor to play into account. The tiger ended up killing the lion. The very same tiger later lost to an American grizzly in a fight. In 1909, a tiger seriously injures two ambushing male lions while chained. The tiger had little movement on its neck. However, the lion, Caesar, male name, ambushed the tiger by jumping at it. The tiger was also very new to the act. Another lion, Prince, male name again, was joining in. Prince was limping from the fight, face, tongue and sides were bleeding. Osmona Breland, a professor of zoology at the University of Texas, saw a tiger killing a lion in a fight. He stated that when a tiger fights, it balances itself on its hind legs and strikes with both front paws. He says he once saw a stage fight between a tiger and a lion, which the tiger won. The tiger used both paws, but the lion used only one at a time, and this situation turned out to be quite disadvantageous to the well-being of the lion. This account was further mentioned in Gerald Elwood's book Animal Facts and Feats, a Guinness record of the animal kingdom. 1914, just about the time of the First World War, in New York, Guangzhou, hundreds of visitors witnessed a fight between Raja, a Bengal tiger, and Eureka, a Barbary lion. The lion is described as he or it, so it's obviously a male. There's even a picture of the individuals. The lion having a mane. They fought for an hour. However, the tiger killed the lion instantly by biting the neck. An average sized tiger was able to kill 2 lions and 2 tigers. I'm quoting, that 400-pound tiger is a killer. He's murdered 4 animals, 2 lions and 2 tigers. 400 pounds isn't even a large size for a tiger. In fact, since if this was a captive tiger, this would actually be below average. 1926. The Burlington Free Press 1926 mentions instances of 2 tigers that killed 2 lions. The key word is being mortal, i.e. ended in death. In 1930, Dr. Bolker removed a lion's eye as it was so damaged in a fight with a tiger. He was afraid that the lion might lose its life. 1932. The Auckland Star newspaper mentioned an account of a male and female tiger in an opposing enclosure to a male and female lion. The lion has a partner, so obviously there will be a male lion, in an Indian zoo. One of the doors on the steel partitions separating them were locked, allowing the animals to meet. In under a minute, 2 lions died. John S. Clark, a big cat trainer and politician, favours the tiger in the fight. His opinion was supported by his own witness of a tiger killing a lion with a death grip, introduced in a lecture to the Glasgow Zoological Society. Also in 1933, Clyde Beatty had 2 tigers, Roger and Tiber, that outfought every lion in his act. Another fight is mentioned between a large tiger and one of Beatty's largest lions. Beatty's heftiest lion surprise attacks an unexpected tiger, taking off its pedestal. This gives it a colossal advantage in the fight. The lion Caesar also joined in the battle too, and even a third lion, Brutus, intervened briefly at the end. Beatty even admitted that the tiger taught them a boxing lesson. So this single tiger managed to defeat 3 of Beatty's largest male lions. In 1933, Clyde Beatty had a Sumatran tiger named Chester. This is the smallest subspecies of tiger, and it's mentioned to fight off 7 lions in a fight. In fact, my Sumatran tiger Chester once fought off 7 lions before a crowd at Collinsville, Pennsylvania, and emerged from the scrap a little west of where. Chester has been in my earth for 5 years and is still going strong, a veteran of many battles. Another fight is mentioned between a Royal Bengal tiger named Rex, who was attacked by numerous lions in a couple of instances and dragged him down from his roost. Another unfair fight, but Beatty states that the lions regretted doing this, and implying that they were defeated. The lions are also stated to always live to regret it. Another fight is mentioned between a female tiger, who again was fighting several lions and managed to whip the shoulder of one of the lions. 1937. A tiger and a lion, both specimens were vigorous, i.e. strong, healthy and full of energy, had a fight. Once again, the tiger killed the lion. In 1952, Beatty had tigers kill 4 male lions. In 1956, a black-maned lion was killed in a single bite by a tiger, despite the lion ambushing. The tiger's one bite crushed the lion's neck. In 1958, Clyde Beatty an account of a lion attacked a newly trained tiger. The lion suffered many wounds in the fight. Clyde Beatty adopts tigers into the act around 3 years old, so this tiger may not have been fully adult. Female lions were taken out of the act in 1935, so these were all male lions. In 1959, the Maharaja of Gwalior experimented if lions could thrive in India despite the decline. The lions used for the experiment were African lions and were described as fine specimens. After a single day of introducing African lions into Indian territory, one of the male lions were killed by a tiger, and the lioness fled from the fight. The author who mentions the account, Kesri Singh, has also personally organised 3 separate fights between the lion and the tiger. While the lion was defensively attacked, in all three of them, the tiger managed to get the better of the lion and win the fight. In 1960, Clyde Beatty had a tiger named Sabre who managed to kill 2 male lions and severely injured another 2. In coastal zoo in China, a Siberian tiger managed to kill an African lion when one of the doors malfunctioned, allowing them to meet. South Korea and Netherlands. One very large tiger, 16 River, a Siberian, managed to defeat ID and Techno, 2 male African lions. At least more than once. In 2010. In an Ankara zoo, tiger stroked a lion's jugular vein in a single stroke of its paw, leaving the animal dying of poor blood. It was reported that the tiger also previously wounded the lion a year before. A picture of one of the bodies of the lions can be seen. 2018, in a Russian circus, a male tiger attacked outside the male lion. While this was not fair at first, because one of the trainers thrust steward at the tiger's back, forcing it to let go. The lion, however, pursued, and then the tiger, then again, fair and square, took it down with a death grip. One of the trainers who witnessed the fight mentioned that the tiger would actually kill the lion if they not pursued. Edgar Zapasini said, "If we not got a serious grip on the lion's neck, he looks like it was stronger with him. How we not got involved?" Another recent fight, which was reported just last year, was between a male lion and a lioness against a tiger. The male lion, named Tarzan, received multiple injuries from a fight with the tiger. The lion's jaw was disfigured. The lioness also received scars from her face, defending the male lion. The male lion also injured its tooth. But this doesn't answer our question. Why does the tiger win in the fight between the lion? Well, there's a couple of reasons for this. First of all, the common one, tigers are larger than lions. Going by scientific records, from 1957 to 2021, the Bengal tiger, specifically, has a weight of around about 211 kilograms on average. But from the mainland, they can even reach a higher weight of 220 kilograms, or 221 kilograms. More impressive, 224.5 kilograms from the Terai region. Siberian tigers are actually a lot, contrary to popular belief, are a lot smaller. While one scientific studies have a varied of 175 kilograms in ranching males, this study included unhealthy males. Removing the unhealthy males and from other weight values for adult males, an average of 193 kilograms is attained, with an historic average of 216.5 kilograms. South African male lions have around about 192 kilograms in weight. From Zimbabwe, 192 for males. Botswana is 184, and Namibia is 197 kilograms. So you see there's a considerable size difference between the two animals. But there's other reasons why the tiger wins. Is the Barbary lion, which was just mentioned to be at least two accounts where Barbary lions have been killed by tigers. However, there is again little evidence to support this, as there only been one reliable specimen being weighed during the 1800s, and it has either been a large specimen. This is supported by biologists, and then there's no reason to suspect Barbary lions will be any different in size to other lions. Yamaguchi 2002 states that there is even little evidence to support the depicted size of Barbary lions, but not all that, even a commonly depicted very large manes. A Swiss biologist also states that Barbary lions are exaggerated in length. The lion has a fighting experience, fights to the death, therefore has the experience of fighting. How this is again not very well supported. There was a recent study in 2005 populations, serious fights have been between lions are rarely observed. Whilst from one region alone, in Ramanga, 60% of tiger deaths alone are from fights. I argue that the main is a text lion fight. Oh, we just mentioned accounts where tigers have killed lions from a single bite to the main area. As some story just mentioned, many lions have died from indirect or even direct attacks to the neck gate region, where the mane is. Some also get the misconception between cats yielding to each other psychologically, i.e. submitting to each other. Contrary to popular belief, tigers do not submit by lowering the head. This is actually an aggressive threat behaviour. This context to a leading tiger ecologist and conservationist, Charles McDougall, that the head low posture is seen to be an aggressive threat. And this seems to put by video for a tiger bows, supposedly bows, by lowering the head, but then attacks to find the point of yielding. Crouching has also been identified as being submissive amongst cats. But Blanca 2009 cites work of Paul Leharson, who worked not only with domestic cats but captive fielded too, including big cats like tigers, and termed the crouching is actually farm defence. In quotation, in a highly polarised attack-defence situation, the attacker stands tall and advances directly towards the victim while emitting low growls. The defended animal crouches down, highlight that, with a mixture of aggressive and fearful motives. Eating first. Tigers do not dominate over food. This only works with social animals that hunt in packs. But tigers do not have social hierarchies. In fact, tigers are actually willing to share their prey, because not only by their females and young, but other males that are related. So when a lion and a tiger are in the same enclosure, they will actually live together and more likely to be friendly than aggressive to each other. The tiger will see it as one of its own. This contrasts the lion that when the males eat first and what is left is shared by the remaining, it goes down the social hierarchy. Lions never share their kills with anyone, but it is often not the case with tigers. People are inclined to bring Clyde Beatty into the argument. While Clyde Beatty mainly used female tigers and was acceptably biased, he admits manipulating his own acts so lions outnumber tigers. Lions are usually not only outside female tigers, but they're also placed behind them in order to get. So this increases the chances of not only size disadvantages, but also ambushes. Clyde Beatty even admits this, saying the average lion was larger than the average tiger, which contradicts all what we know about these two animals. But however, this is all theoretical. Fights on video. Serious fights on video seem to go in favour of the tiger once again. But the reason for this is that there is a consistent pattern going on. This is because the tiger's superior fighting style. The tiger can stand on two legs, like a box. It can stand on its hind legs, free movement of the two arms. More movement, and it can deliver more power. The tiger fights like a box. It stands on its two legs, frees its upper free arm, frees its front arms, and this can deliver not only more powerful punches, but also more punches in general. tiger would have a super advantage over a lion. In fact, this actually becomes so advantageous that even lions, who have no instinct or no adaptation for this, try and copy the tiger's fighting style. They can see in videos like these where a tiger uppercuts a lion and then tackles it to the ground. Another thing here, where a tiger is able to throw a lion 2 meters because it can free its front paws. In fact, this fighting style of the tiger is so brilliant, is that it can fight a lion by not being able to look behind it on steep terrain. Here's a video again of a female tiger doing this, standing on 2 legs. A very popular lion-headed tiger clip on the internet is a fight from Castle Films. While this film is just simply a film, trying to portray some sort of propaganda to it, many people have used this fight for reference and who would win. It is important to note that this footage was heavily cut and we don't know exactly what happened. However, it is confirmed that several idols were used for this fight. 2 male lions and a Bengal tigress. It is certain that this fight was heavily manipulated. So to wrap up, the tiger wins the lion more than vice versa. The tigers are larger than lions. Barbary lions are exaggerated in size. Tigers submit by exposing the abdomen, not by crouching or lowering the head, or not eating first. Lions and mane do not protect, and tigers, if anything, have higher fight mortality. Clyde Beatty is completely irrelevant. He was biased and manipulated his acts so the lions could appear at a fighting position.